Women taking the lead. Did you hear that?
I did. Bless them.
Bless them.
Where would we all be without them? Zarina, thank you very much for bringing this to us.
Yeah, so with this likely influx in mail-in ballots this year, traditions like calling a winner on election night, it just may not be the same. I think we're all kind of expecting it's not going to be the same. We've been told it might
Nothing
not be the
has
same.
been the same.
Nothing has been
over
the same,
last several
especially
months.
with this election. Rick Adams joins us this morning in studio to tell us more about your ballot and election night, the mail-in ballot process. Pivot, man, pivot. Tell us. What do we need to know?
It's all about the pivot, isn't it? News rebel, Giselle. Thank you.
I love that.
Yes. Well, hang on to your bits and pieces, ladies and gentlemen, and other peoples, because basically Election Day is going to be a roller coaster. So perhaps skip that breakfast buffet, because basically you don't have to worry, though, because I'm here. I've got virtually Rick here, and I'm going to answer all your questions on where your ballots are going to end up and what you can expect to happen. And what happens when, if there's going to be a winner? Of course there is going to be a winner. What happens when that happens? Well, let's just roll it. OK, thanks.
For decades, there's been a tradition shared by the big news networks: be the first to call the winner. They use data from models and exit polls in states that were more given to one party over another. But it's likely that this year, because less people will be voting in person and more by mail, you'll get wildly different poll results. And there'll still be the temptation by the networks to be the first to call the election, which could make for some very weird moments and only serve to underline, for some, a kind of imagined conspiracy happening even when it's not. The reality is that the big news channels will have to hold their breath, their patience, and their bulletins and wait. But for how long?
A great number of states will receive ballots after the day of election, so it will take a few days or a few weeks to tally all the results. But every state has a deadline for certifying their votes.
In California, all ballots must be counted and recounted by December 1st. By December 10th, state electors meet in their capitals to cast their presidential votes. Those votes are presented to the newly elected House of Representatives to be accepted or rejected in early January. Either way, the president's term ends on January 20th at 12 noon. So, if the House hasn't accepted the votes by then, assuming the Democrats still hold their majority, your new acting president could be Nancy Pelosi.
We could also experience the process getting mired in legal action. But if the results are more clear, like, say, a landslide for either candidate, then it might not take too long at all.
So, whoever you vote for, help them out. Make sure you're registered and get your ballot in early. The system of voting by mail is super safe. Safer in many ways than voting in person. And allegations of it being rigged are just plain nonsense and scare tactics to make the turnout smaller and favour one party over another. So, whatever you do this year, vote, and then hang on to your hats and be patient. It could take a while to get the results, but if we can all just stay focused and alert to protecting our democracy, particularly the big news networks, without losing our heads or ending up in court, justice will be served the old-fashioned way: vote by vote.
Yes.
Yes, vote. It's a privilege, it's a duty, it's a right. Do it, and you still have time to register to the 19th of October. All right, let me ask you a question. What are the reports saying? Are more people going to go and actually put their ballot in person despite COVID because they're worried about their ballot getting in on time, or are you hearing not just the opposite?
Well, look, first of all, it's a lot of votes we're talking about, right? So, but the most important thing is that there's just been a recent study by UC Berkeley's Institute of Governmental Studies to say it's something like 41% of Californians believe that their vote will not turn up on time. If you're worried about your vote not turning up, I have a tool, a device, so get your pen and get your electronic notational device ready. I'll tell you about it in a second, OK? But you're correct in saying, Giselle, there's a lot of interest and worry about turning up live and voting in person. Something like 64% of Democrats believe that it's not a good idea. 59% of independents believe that too. But most importantly, Republicans, 29% believe it's no big deal. Turn up, basically. sorry, a third of Republicans that were counted believe that it's a bit risky to turn up to vote. Sorry, speaking too fast. Anyway,
Take a deep breath.
So basically, it's a lot of information. So basically, yes, that's why we vote by mail. It's much simpler, it's easier, and it is safer, and you can track it. And if you want to track your vote, your ballot, it's quite simple. You do it. You go to this site here. Look, you can see it. Thank you. Let's read it together. Where's my ballot? sos.ca.gov. Where's my ballot.sos.ca.gov. So
I
do
love
that.
how they put SOS. And just really quickly, when do you think we're going to get results? I mean, really quickly.
When are we going to get results? It could take weeks. It could be up to December. It could literally take that long.
Boy, for a
Unless
nation
there's a
that's
landslide.
immediate gratification culture, that's going to be really tough. Rick Adams, you rock.
Thank
No
you,
one
Rick.
can do it better and tell it better. Thank you.
We'll be right back, everybody. Stay with us. Happy Hump Day.
Vote, vote, vote.